Today we're gonna do a little pick a card tarot reading. I'm having kind of a spiritually heavy day and I've just been walking around in this really intuitive energy, and I just got home and I don't know, I just felt called to do a little tarot video because I just felt like it would clean my energy up or something. I don't know, I just feel like I've been very spiritually heavy. So today we're gonna do a little pick a card tarot reading. If you don't know how these work, I'm basically about to show you 3 different items, and your job is to look at them and pick one that you feel really called towards, like it's just really calling your name. And I'm gonna make each of these items into chapters that have your tarot reading for your group. You can pick like on this YouTube slider, or in the description there's gonna be 3 different piles, but yeah, you can just go right to yours. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. All right, so this is pile A, this is pile B, and this is pile C. So if you want to just take a second, clear your energy, meditate for a second, and then pick the one that's just really calling your name. Okay, this was the item for pile A. It was this little sage little perfume that I got. I wish I could show it more up close. I'm going to be using the Shining Woman Tarot deck by Raquel. This is, for some reason, the one I've been just feeling called to use for all the piles. So what does pile A need to hear? Ooh, there's a really strong energy coming through just right off the bat. Whoa. It's really specific. It's a really specific energy. I'm going to show you some of the cards. This is the top card of my spread. I use my own spread, so I just use 1 at the top and then 4 underneath. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the top one. It's Place of Birds, and it has like this spiral and this bird on top. But then the other cards beneath just paint such a specific picture that I haven't read yet, but there's already a really strong energy of duality and balance coming through. Do you see it? Like, look at these little fish, and then these 2 guys. And then this is the shadow element, and it's like this little like up and down little arrow thing. And I feel like there's just this really strong duality kind of energy coming through. Some of you might have either gotten into a new relationship, or some of you might be polyamorous. I don't know why I specifically heard that. That's so random. Someone here might be polyamorous, or you might have been like, you might have gotten back on dating sites, or might be looking around. It might not be dating specifically, but I see you've been on the hunt. You've really been on the hunt for something. A lot of you might have been on the hunt for a partner, like a relationship partner specifically, and you might have been looking around on sites, but you're looking for something. You're like on the hunt, on the quest for something right now. Might be a job as well. Some of you might be filling out a lot of job applications. This is the message the first message that I'm getting is that, because, okay, I see an energy of duality, but it's not the typical like pink and blue kind of energy, you know? It's like almost like gender neutral. Maybe some of you are like non-binary or something, but I feel this energy that like binaries are not as strong as you think, and that sometimes you might look at people and think like they're very opposite you, or look at something that's like the opposite of you and think that it's very opposite. But if you actually look at it, there's like these sort of nuances that actually they're not that different from you as you think. It's not as opposite from you as you think. Some of you might be specifically like a non-binary person and you want to date a non-binary person, or you have like she they pronouns or he they pronouns, and you're dating like you have he they pronouns and they have she they pronouns, like just specific stuff like that where you're like, I'm getting gender just because of the duality, but it's like they're not as different as you think, you know? The person that you're looking for, if you're looking for a person, might not be as different from you as you think that they are. Or maybe some of you need to come to terms with the fact that like maybe you like someone who's not a little different, that different from you, as in like maybe, I don't know why, like for some reason I always get like the LGBTQ community in my piles, but it's like maybe you need to go for someone of the same gender as you. Okay, that's really specific, but it's not going to be for everybody. I see some of you are trying to balance your eating, balance your diet, like you're trying to eat like a healthier diet, eat like all the food groups. Some of you are trying to get your fiber in, your beans. I don't know why I heard beans. And like you're trying to make a very balanced plate. I don't know, I just see you trying to get a little bit of balance in your life, or like you feel like maybe you're just searching for an element. This is what I'm getting. You're searching for an element in your life, something new to bring into your energy. Like you want like a new job, a new relationship, a new something. And the thing is that you're expecting it to be something very opposite or very different from you, but it's actually like the energy is the same as you. So maybe it's about you getting in alignment with that energy and thinking like, it's very like the energy is not like opposite to me. The energy is the same as me. Like, you know, maybe you've been dating and you're like, if you're not LGBTQ, you're like, okay, men are so different from me, or women are so different from me. I just can't understand them, or like, I don't know how to get them. It's like, they're not that different from you in fact. Like, you are making them out to be very, very different from you, or you're making the thing that you want to be so opposite you of, you're like, they're like completely different from me, and it's actually not. Like, their energy is very similar to you. If you're looking for a relationship, it's like that person is going to be actually have a similar energy to you, like way of thinking as you, where you're like, you know, maybe you're very steeped in like, okay, I'm a feminine woman and I want a very masculine man. But it's not to say the person that you're going to be with isn't masculine, but like actually everybody, even masculine men, all of them think differently, and they might have a very similar value system as you, or they might think very similarly to you, like this person that you were actually looking for. So I think it's about like whatever it is that you're searching for, and I guess relationships are an example, but whatever it is that you're searching for, the energy is actually very similar to you. And in fact, it might already be around you. Like, have you ever tried to like, oh, I'm looking for my keys, and like you're looking crazy places? Like, I remember when we were trying to find my old cat got lost, and we were looking everywhere for that cat. Like, we were going to like, you know, whole different neighborhoods and stuff, and then at the end of the day it turns out that my cat was actually just a block away from my house. And that's very common with lost cats. Maybe you lost your cat. It's very common with cats that's like, you think that they're like, oh my god, they went so far, but they actually tend to stay very close by and like hide. Maybe this is so specific for someone, but it's actually like whatever you're, this is actually, maybe someone really is looking for their lost cat, because I have like this pet and you're like, where are they? You're like looking all over the place, and it's like, it was right there, like your dog or something. But in actuality, whatever you're looking for, it's like, it's very similar. This also gives me, maybe you lost your turtle. Maybe a lot of people in this pile lost their pets. You see this turtle, but it's like, it's really not that different from you. It's very like in your energy as well. Like, and you're not going to find it as easily if you think it's very opposite from you, where it's like, okay, that person that you want thinks very similarly to you, they have similar values to you, they might live in your neighborhood. Like, you might need to date somebody actually in your neighborhood or in your vicinity. If you're looking for a job, it might be a job that's actually close by, or it's like somebody that you've spoken to is gonna give you the job. Where I've had that happen, where I'm like, oh no, I need to apply to so many places, but it's like, actually like the job ended up coming from somebody that I already knew. So it's almost like the job was already around me. But it's like, sometimes they're looking for things very far away, and they're actually like right here close by, or already in your energy. So that's the energy that I get really from this. Let's talk about pizza. I don't know, sometimes I just mention like the random stuff in case this is really relevant to somebody, but don't cut out, I guess the energy I'm getting from that is, don't cut out like unhealthy foods. You can make the food that you like healthy. Okay, someone's on a diet, you can make the food that you want healthy. But that's what I'm trying, like, that's the energy that I'm trying to say, where it's like, you think in very black and white kind of like boxes, but in actuality, the things that you need and the things that you want are very similar to what you want. Like, if you were going on a diet, you can make healthy pizza, you can make healthy cookies, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so essentially that's pile one's pile. And I guess just to mention I'll mention the shadow aspect being the part that's like almost like the hidden energy of the pile. It's the Emperor, and it has all these ups and downs. So exactly what I was basically saying about the Emperor is like this very like patriarchal, rigid figure, and he's like very structured, where it's like, actually the thing that you want is more about like shades of gray. Yeah. So, for example, maybe you don't even want to be on the gender spectrum at all. Maybe you want to just be like way off in your own little world, but just stuff like that, where it's like, it's actually like you're making it very black and white, but it's not as black and white as you think. All right, pile two, we have this little scorpion in a random little thing, which was meant to be a gift for somebody, and I just never like was able to send it to them. So yeah, I still have it. This little scorpion. I told the last deck, I'll tell you, I'm using the Shining Woman Tarot deck. Okay, what does pile two need to hear? Ooh, pile two is like life of the party energy to me. Maybe you recently went to a party. Oh, it's like complicated. It's complicated. I like to do a spread. So the spread that I'm doing, this is like my own spread that I always use. And for some reason, it just like, gets my creativity flowing, but it's just basically one card like this and then 2 cards here, 2 cards here. So I'll just show you the energy. This is your top card. It's like this little, there's like a little hurrah going on here. I don't know what this is. Maybe you're a very social person, but you actually feel like anxious in a crowd. Like, I remember reading about Kafka, Franz Kafka, I think that's his name, the guy who wrote the Metamorphosis, about the story about the man who turned into a cockroach. He had a horrible opinion. He thought he was so ugly and hideous. And then when he actually spoke to, but people spoke to people around him, and it's funny because he always thought he was hideous, but everybody around him actually saw him as like a pretty handsome guy. So he was like very like in his head. And I get that energy from you. Like, I feel like you're the kind of person where there's like a crowd around you, or like people really crowd around you. Maybe you're very popular, but maybe you don't feel that popular. You don't feel like people really like you. Maybe you have really bad social anxiety. So even though like you are a very social person, like sometimes you don't really feel like you are, or you feel like people don't like you even though people actually have a pretty good opinion of you. Because right away I saw life of the party. Like, I was like, life of the party, like, you know, I feel like people want to date you. Like, you're the kind of person that people really want to date you or be with you or like talk to you or like really engage with you, and you are just constantly in your head about like what like this is the energy that I'm getting of you being like all tied up in this kind of like thought process. And do you see how there's a little tension with people? You don't really like being perceived that much, I think, or maybe you kind of do, but it just gives you anxiety. I see you deep in this like swirl of anxiety, and yet like life is still going on around you. It's like your life is filled with great things and good things are happening to you, and like nice things are coming in. Maybe you've like gotten gifts. Maybe you're like an influencer. You get like packages in the mail. I feel like you have an inner child wound. I'm getting that really strongly of like the way that you think other people see you is how you felt like your parents saw you when you were younger. And you might have had like, you might have overheard your parents say something when you were a kid, like they spoke about, either they spoke about you in a certain way, like you heard, maybe they said it straight to you, but I also could see that they said it to like a friend, like they told like their work friend something about you, they talked about you on the phone behind your back, they talked about another parent to you, or like they just, you heard them say something, or even they just spoke negatively about people but in your vicinity, and you overheard that when you were a child, and it really I don't know, it like stuck with you, and you're like, oh whoa. And it's like, that's, you think people talk about you behind your back because like you did hear somebody talk about you behind your back when you're younger. Or maybe you just heard people talking about you behind, like they spoke about you when you were younger, you were like bullied, or people like gossiped about you. But I feel like that really stuck with you, and it taught you that like people think bad things about you behind your back. And like, even if people seem to love you and seem to like you, like underneath the surface, they don't really like you as much as like you think that they do, or they have like a secret negative perception of you. And I think that it's like your inner child is just stuck in that state. Like I see you as a child, and like how people see you, how you think people see you is just a reflection of what you thought your parents thought about you. And it's like, well, if my parents think that about me and they have to love me and they're supposed to love me, why would anybody else think differently? I saw this video on the internet. I'm gonna try to find it and link it below, but it was basically these people, and they did this trend of like it was like they were with this parents to this little girl, and they said good things about her behind her back when they knew she was listening, and they pretended like they were gossiping about her, and they were saying like, isn't she so good at reading? Like she's really, really good at reading books. Like she reads so many books. I can see she's worked so hard. And they really wanted their kid to think like, oh wow, my parents actually talk really positively about me behind my back. So I'm seeing a few different routes for you, as like you need to do some inner child healing. The first, if you have friends that you super trust and you're like, I know for a fact that none of these people talk about me behind my back in a negative way, ask them, what do they talk about? Like what do they say about you behind your back but in a positive way? And write it down, and like keep a list in your house. Like, because I feel like when you have good friends, I mention my friends to my friend, like to other people, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, like my sister's so good at photography, I'm so proud of her, like wow. Or like, oh, my, I don't know, my friend, she like, I'll brag about my friends, like, yeah, she went to so and so school, and she studied psychology, stuff like that. And I feel like if you have like friends that you're very close to, that you're like, I trust them, ask them what they say about you behind your back and just write it down and keep it. The other thing that you could do as well is you could start, like, honestly, even if you're dating somebody, you could like pretend, you could have them like pretend to talk about you behind your back and like say all these amazing things about you as well. Or you yourself could do a meditation or write down some things and just like talk positively about yourself behind your back and about your inner child. Talk about all the beautiful things about your inner child that you love. I was so imaginative, like all these different things. I just feel like you need some positive self-talk and to shift the idea that people talk badly about you behind your back and like think awful things about you behind your back all the time, because people talk positively about you all the time. I can see you're a very beloved person. Like when you come into a room, people really love that you're there. They're happy, like you just light up the room, and people like, I'm gonna talk about you behind your back ish, like to your face, I guess, but it's like people just feel so happy that you're there. Like I can see, like, that's what I'm saying, life of the party. People want to dance with you, have fun with you, like give you gifts, and just like they love to see your little energy come in the room and everything. And I just feel like you're just stuck in this negative spiral, and like you need a hug. You need a little hug. You need to dance it out. You need to have some fun and just like shift the perception that people are like secretly talking bad about you behind your back, because people say great things about you behind your back all the time. You just don't hear them. So you fixate on the negative things that people say about you behind your back. So you should ask some people that you trust and love about the positive things that they say about you behind your back. Or if you don't have anybody because you got trust issues and stuff, just tell yourself, give yourself a hug, give your inner child a little bit of love, because that's the reason that you think that. So yeah, that's been pile 2. Okay, pile C, we have this little holy water that I got in Portugal. It's got this saint on it. So I've been telling every pile I'm using the Shining Woman Tarot deck. So let's see what pile C needs to know right now. Ooh, there's a little spicy energy going on in this one for some reason. Maybe not, I don't know, maybe it's creative. Ooh, like the real, like, it's really, I don't know, it's interesting. I use a spread that I make myself, and it's like card, 2 cards, 2 cards, and it just gets my creativity flowing, so I really like it. And then a shadow aspect as well. There's really a spicy energy going on in here, but I can't read it yet. Some of you have really been like maybe really feeling yourself. I see you've gone in like a group recently. Some of you have gone to an artist residency. There's cult energy in here. If you might be in a cult, I'm sorry to break it to you if you didn't know, but you might be in a cult. Or you already know that you're in a cult. I'm thinking of one in my head, but I won't say it. But some of you might be from this particular party. But if you are, I'm sorry. That's just what I'm reading intuitively. But some of you are in a cult. No offense. If it's not a cult, you might have joined a really, because the vision that I got was, there's this artist that I love called Hilma af Klint, I think, and she would make these really crazy art pieces, and she was in this, like, she's so good, and she was in this seance group. Some of you might be in a coven, because this is the shadow aspect. We got a cult going on here. Some of you might be in a coven, some of you might be in a cult. And like you see what I'm talking about. There's cult energy here. There's like a leader. You might be a leader, you might be a cult leader. You might be an influencer, but you might be a cult leader. You might be the head of a company. We won't assume it's a cult. You might run an MCM, but you might be just head of a company of some kind, like a leader, like a nonprofit leader or a CEO or something like that. But I do see pyramid, so I'm thinking pyramid scheme. This is your warning from the universe. If you are involved in the pyramid scheme, to please stop being in the pyramid scheme, because there is a pyramid and it is giving Illuminati a little tiny bit. So please, unless you want to be in the Illuminati, some of you might be in Scientology. This pile is scaring me a little bit. I'm getting nervous. If I said something that I'm not supposed to know, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Okay. Anyways, you have a very like collective mentality. Like you have like groupthink energy, okay? Like you might really strongly be following the path that other people have laid out for you. Somebody like, but you might be, you are involved in creating that path. You have a strong vision and you want people to follow it and follow you. Maybe you just really have like a strong kind of, you're a great speaker. You might also be a politician, or you might be like like an activist or something. Like you really speak out and you have this leadership energy of like this voice that people just want to follow you. Like you're very influential. I see that energy of like people really want to listen to you and like follow what you have to say. You might be very magnetic, very charismatic. You and your group might have a secret plan. Wait, I'm getting so scared. What if I accidentally intuit like government information right now? Let me not say too much. I'm scared. Okay, so you and your group might have a plan or might have a vision. You might be like a group of singers, like a band or something like that, and you just want to like, let's see if we can get more cards so I can get more information, but I'm a little bit scared to get more information because I don't know what I've stumbled on or who is watching this, because I'm getting, why did this energy come out as I freaking, no, some of y'all are in a freaking, no, I'm not gonna say anything more. You know what? It's not my business. You do you. You do you. I'm not gonna try to read that. But let's just get the energy in case some of y'all are not in a cult. So, somebody's here to make money. Someone's really trying to make some money and just really trying to like work their way up. And they have like, you have like a plan to get very wealthy. You have a vision for wealth of like how you can attract wealth. I'm just gonna try to like, okay, like third eye, I'm gonna shut my third eye like this much, okay? You have some kind of plan to get wealthy and you feel like you've stumbled across a pot of gold. Like you really hit the jackpot with something or with an idea that's gonna make you very, very, very rich, or win you an award or like something like that. Okay, and it excites you. It lights you up completely. Like it lights you up your whole entire body, and you just feel in your body that like you're going, like you've really hit on something. Like maybe you've really had a breakthrough recently, like a breakthrough in something that would really be successful, something that would really like get attention, or that would just be like really like just really successful. Okay, it doesn't have to be a cult, but it might be, some of y'all might be, I don't know. Anyways, it's just the cult energy just keeps really coming through strong. But anyways, I'm scared. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna pretend this is good, whatever this is. I just don't want to give people bad advice if they're in a cult, or if they're like, I don't know. Now I'm getting really nervous because I don't want to say go for it if you're in a cult, or if you're like in a pyramid scheme. I don't want to say go for it, so I have to be careful with how I tread and like what advice I give. Let me pull some more cards out. Okay, whatever this is, we'll keep it general. It depends on you. You are definitely at the heart of this situation. If it's going to be successful, and should it be successful, please think about that. If it's going to be successful and if it's going to make a lot of money, it depends on you being like a face, or like you are like the center. For example, if you were to be in a pyramid schemes depend on you being very charismatic and like convincing other people. So you get what I'm saying? Like whatever this is, if it's good, go for it. I'm 100% supporting you, but just like you have to know that has to do with your charisma and your presence, and like your energy is the thing that's selling whatever this is. So just keep that in mind, that like it's your personality. It's almost like your personality is very marketable, a very marketable personality. And yeah, honestly, you could make a lot of money from this. Should you make a lot of money from this? That's the question to ask yourself if you're in a cult. If you're in Scientology, please leave Scientology. If you're in a pyramid scheme, get out of that situation, because I will never endorse that. But you might be. But at the end of the day, whatever your idea is, if it's an influencer, if you want to start a political movement, whatever, it is very dependent on your personality, your influence, and your energy. So do think about that and get creative about your energy if it's worth pursuing, because people are very, like, you're a very creative person. This is a very creative idea that I do think a lot of people might follow. Then again, I'm scared. Yeah, you're like the face of the situation, to be honest with you. You really truly are. And like, you have the vision, you have the plan. At least you should hold on to the vision, whatever it is. If you're thinking about selling your business, the thing is that your business relies on you. in your personality being at the center, and there's a good chance that it won't do as well without you, and because a lot of it was built off of your back. So just know that at the end of the day, for example, you could sell it, it's probably not gonna continue to stay, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're the one keeping it strong. You're like the backbone. I see that energy of, like, let me show you. You're the backbone. Do you see the backbone energy? You're the backbone of this whole ensemble. So whatever it is, like, you just gotta know that, and people are gonna flock to see you specifically. So yeah, just FYI. And you might want to do some affirmations in the mirror if this is worth pursuing. Do some affirmations in the mirror and, like, tell yourself, like, you're the person that you want to be and, like, all this stuff, because whatever this is, okay, and even if it's not, like, you're not there yet, whatever this plan is requires a big personality. It requires, like, a big personality energy. If you don't have that, it's not going to do as well. So if it is worth pursuing, you should make sure that you have the kind of personality necessary to make it thrive. If not, then it's not going to do as well, because it's something that, like, people want to see you and, like, your big personality coming through. And yeah, you can't just be kind of like you can't just be like, you know, like, you can't just be lame and random. Like, you have to be very charismatic and, like, you can do it, and hope and energy. I'm thinking of Obama, like, yes we can or whatever. Like, it's very that energy of, like, you're selling the situation. So it is very important for you to have that charisma, and you to come in with the charisma of getting everybody else hyped up and on your side. So yeah, just FYI. Yeah, that's pile 3. This pile scared me a little bit because we have a lot of different energies coming through. If it's a good energy, I'm grateful that you're here. If you're like an activist or something, thank you. If you're in a cult, you didn't hear anything from me. You don't know me. I don't know you. I don't know what you're doing. I didn't pry for any further information. That's all I know. So anyways, that's pile C energy. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed.